You know that moment when you walk into a room, flick the light switch, and suddenly you see everything that was hiding in the shadows? That's the vibe coming when Vesta leaps into Aquarius on January 11th at 3:37 p.m. ET. The torchlight of devotion, the altar flame of purpose burns in a new way, electric, unconventional, futuristic. If you're not paying attention, you might miss the door slamming open on opportunity. And trust me, this transit doesn't hang around. I've been watching this transit in charts, feeling its crackle, and I'm telling you, folks are about to have their inner fire stirred, or maybe even reignited. Whether that's for love, power, money, purpose, Vesta in Aquarius is here to shake up who you devote yourself to, what you believe in, how you express weird, authentic parts of yourself. So buckle in. What does Vesta in Aquarius actually mean? First, some astrology grounding. Vesta is the asteroid that represents the sacred flame, devotion, sacrifice, purity of purpose, the inner fire that you tend with care. When Vesta transits a sign, that domain of life is going to feel like it's being called upon. Who or what are you devoted to? What are you sacrificing, and is it still worth it? Aquarius brings in the themes of individuality, originality, community, innovation, technology, breaking free from conventional forms. It's electric rebel energy. I refuse to do things just because that's how they've always been done. So Vesta entering Aquarius equals devotion plus purpose plus sacrifice being reframed through the lens of the future, of social change, of group work, of authentic self-expression. It's not going to be quiet. You'll feel this in relationships, in how you work, in who you serve, what you believe, what you want. Who's going to feel this most, and why? Some star signs are going to be in the front row, got popcorn, eyes wide, because this transit digs deep for them and shakes their foundation. Others will see it in people around them. If you know someone with one of these signs, watch them, they're going to storm through something. Hot seats. Aquarius, surprise surprise. Vesta enters your sign. This is you owning more of your sacred flame. You're going to feel an urgency to cut out what isn't for you, people, routines, beliefs. It's like finally getting permission from the universe to be the version of you you've been scared to show. Big change. Radical letting go. Revolution of self. Leo, because Aquarius and Leo are opposite, this transit will push you to examine what you've built around being seen, being loved, being admired. You may feel torn. Do I serve myself or serve the crowd? Do I stick with popularity, or authenticity costs? You might see a relationship or friendship dissolve or shift in power dynamics. Taurus and Scorpio, these fixed signs will have to reckon with something that's been rigid, maybe comfortable, but no longer aligned. You've probably been steady, resistant to change. Vesta in Aquarius demands flexibility. You may have to sacrifice stability for meaning. Gemini and Sagittarius, the mutable energy stirred by Aquarius will stimulate your ideas and beliefs. There could be restlessness. You might want to abandon old paths, old intellectual commitments. People around you might feel like you've switched lanes overnight. You will feel this deeply if you have your sun, moon, rising, or a big planet in Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, Scorpio, Gemini, Sagittarius. You have natal Vesta in those signs. This transit aligns with that inner flame and forces reckoning. You're working in groups, activism, tech, or any area where community plus innovation are central to your identity or day job. What others should watch for? If you're not one of the above, that doesn't mean you get off easy. You'll be observing these people, friends, lovers, colleagues, who are going through big stuff. You might feel their tension, or even get swept in. You might be the support, or witness the collapse of old frameworks. Also, you may find people behaving more rebellious, more erratic in devotion, more passionately ideological, more willing to burn bridges. Brace yourself. Real, everyday life examples, how this might play out. Love and relationships. Someone you thought you had a stable bond with suddenly wants more space, or to reform the relationship into something unconventional. Maybe they want an open relationship, or just to redefine what partner means. This isn't about tearing everything down, it's about demanding authenticity. Career and purpose. Maybe you've been on autopilot at work, doing what you think is expected. Under this transit, you'll want projects that align with your values. Start something new, something tech-forward, something socially conscious. You might pivot. If you're working for a large organization, you'll push to change policies, to innovate, or you'll quit. Money and material life. You may feel restless with financial norms. Investments in tech, in social change, in networks may seem more appealing. Or you may feel called to donate, to invest in purpose-driven ventures. But there's risk, because the urge to break free can push you to be impulsive. Inner work and growth, solitude, ritual, reclaiming your power. Vesta's about the inner flame. Rituals that reconnect you to what you care about. Maybe you stop people-pleasing. Maybe you refuse to invest emotionally in toxic patterns. Revenge, closure, this transit gives pause to letting go. Possibly a karmic reckoning. Not necessarily revenge like fists and rants, but cutting off energetic cords, speaking truths, refusing to accept betrayal anymore. The cosmic fire says, don't let that simmer, either let it go or transform it. These are things you can do now, during this transit, to harness this energy rather than be burned by it. Create a ritual with fire or light. Maybe at sunset on January 11th, light a candle and set intention, I devote myself only to what is true, real, mine. Journal prompts. What or who have I been serving out of obligation rather than passion? In what areas have I compromised myself to belong? What beliefs do I hold that came from others, that I can now question? Break a tie. Since Aquarius energy loves innovation, try reversing a routine. If you always meet friends in person, try online gatherings. If you always go with what your family wants, try asserting your own plan. Digital detox or tech ritual, Aquarius rules tech. Use tech to serve you, not enslave you. Clear old files, clean your digital life. Unfollow accounts that drain. Curate your online company. Follow fresh new ones instead. Group magic or collective manifestation, work with friends on something radical, a cause, a charity, a futuristic project. The synergy will amplify. Boundary ritual, fire or ice bath, burn paper with names of old structures, contracts, patterns that no longer serve. Let that burn safe, then bury or release. What to expect, the drama, the tension, the gift. Expect a bit of restlessness, maybe discomfort, maybe pressure. Old loyalties will ask themselves painful questions. Relationships built on convenience or expectation might crack. For some, there'll be heartbreak. For others, a beautiful release. For many, a rediscovery of self that's been dimmed. But oh, the gift, you get a chance to stand in your own revolution. To express that weird genius you've kept secret. To demand love, work, purpose that doesn't feel like giving up yourself. To see clearly who deserves your devotion, and who doesn't. What each sign should do. Aries, fight for your individuality. This is your chance to reinvent your social role. Taurus, let go of what feels safe but stagnant. Gemini, speak up, your voice matters more now than ever. Cancer, rewire your sense of family and community, you deserve nurturing that includes your true self. Leo, shed the expectation that you always have to be the star, serve those you love in authentic ways. Virgo, let structure serve you, not imprison you. Innovate in your routines. Libra, rebalance your partnerships. Equality versus codependency is on the table. Scorpio, transformation is overdue. Dive into the dark, but only insofar as it leads you to your inner fire. Sagittarius, beliefs get challenged. Expand consciously. What do you really stand for? Capricorn, redefine duty, maybe public image or work becomes more aligned with inner purpose rather than prestige. Aquarius, glorious time to lead yourself. Be unapologetically you. Pisces, your dreams need you to take risks. Let the boundaries dissolve between imagination and reality. So here's what I want you to do, mark that moment, January 11th at 3:37 p.m. ET, as sacred. When that flame moves, you move too. Don't wait for permission. Don't wait for others to see you. Begin now. Create the ritual. Speak your truth. Let something old burn so something more honest, more alive, more electric can rise. Because when Vesta in Aquarius is here, time is short to be complacent. This transit won't last forever. The seeds of what you do now will define love, purpose, money, connection, for months to come. Miss this, and you'll feel the ghost of what could have been. But if you ride this flame, if you stand inside this heat of truth, you will come out forged, luminous, aligned. Harness the fire before it's gone.